So let's get started. Thank you so much for joining today. I hope you all can hear me. My name is Rosie Coronado. I will be holding this webinar today. If you have any questions, please, you can go ahead and put it in the chat, or by the end of this webinar, as usually, I will unmute everybody and please feel free to ask me then. So I am super excited to show you our product, Boyum Cloud Inspect. So what is Boyum Cloud Inspect? Maybe you have heard of it or maybe you have not. So we have Boyum Cloud products. Those are a suite of lean cloud applications. We don't only have Inspect, which totally supports your quality control for your SAP Business One. So we have also some other products for the cloud platform, which is built product management. We have Produce, which is basically terminals for your SAP Business One. And then we have Inspect, and we are going to talk about Inspect today. Okay, so Inspect is quality control. And where does it fit in your process, or where does Produce fit in your process for SAP Business One or Build? Here is a slide that will tell you. Okay, so Build supports product management in processing product requests and releasing products. You can create your bill of material, and you can do product costing and then upload it to your SAP Business One. So Build is your product management solution, which supports your master data in SAP Business One. And the beauty is, as I mentioned, you build your bill of material, and sometimes it takes weeks to do so, but at the end you do a cost calculation and you make sure your cost is right. And once that's done, you upload it to SAP. So where does Produce come in? Supports the entire shop floor process, which you don't have in SAP. Right now, for example, in SAP, you put in your production orders, you run your MRP, do your production orders. So now you carry those production orders out to the shop floor for your operators to work on it. This Produce totally supports your shop floor. You have full visibility what's going on, who is working on what production order, on what operation routing called in SAP. And the operators have a tablet, and they start their production orders, they finish their production order, and you register your time and material. That's Produce. So if you need more information from any of those products, of course, contact us. I'm more than happy to show it to you. But today we talk about Inspect. Supports the entire inspection process for material inspection after production, and of course we are building right now during production, inspection during production. So Inspect monitors the SAP transactions of the process and automatically creates inspection orders, and I will show you that today so you can see it. So maybe you say, okay, if this one item is going to be received from production, I want it to create an inspection order automatically. Same when you receive material in. Okay, you have full visibility how many inspection orders are there, how many are still open, which ones failed, which ones passed. You have full visibility, and you also can create a certificate, an inspection certificate afterwards. Okay, so Inspect, there we go. You have two different roles. We are all about role-based. So the quality manager, I'm the quality manager. I'm going to set up all my inspection orders. I'm going to set up all my sampling plans. How many samples do I want the system to create, to check? Okay. And I have full visibility what's going on the quality control floor. Maybe you have quality control people walking around and do quality control order. You see exactly what's going on. And then you have your operator. So the operator are the ones have a tablet. They see the list of inspection orders as you see here on the print screen. And they say, okay, I'm going to start this inspection orders. How many tests do I have to do? You set that up. The manager sets that up. Is it a visual test? Do I have to measure something? Do I have to weight something? And then once I'm done, I'm going to finalize it and the manager can see the results. But let's jump into the system and do that right now. So let me go in here. So if I go in here, so those are cloud applications, browser-based. So you have a tablet, you have a PC, and you log on. If you look here, you see our 3 products. You buy what you need. You don't have to have Produce to have this. Of course, if you have Produce and Inspect, you will see today, I will actually use it for a minute today to show you an after production quality control order creation. But of course, if you have them all, it makes your everyday's task so much easier. But we're going to talk about Inspect today. So here is the manager, here is the operator. I'm going to go to the manager. If I go in here, the manager sees a list of inspection orders. Those are the inspection orders. You see the inspection order number. You see which item needs to be inspected. If it's from a goods receipt, PO, it tells me which vendor it came from. It tells me the creation type, goods receipt PO, or maybe I received something in from production. You see everything right here, and I hope you guys can see everything. It looks like it. I made my fonts big enough. You see the results. So these ones are failing. They are not finalized, but they are failing. This one I can finalize. So document type, again, when was this inspection order created? And of course, you always have the possibility to create it manually. That's just the flexibility you have. I can always go in here and I said, I'm going to create an inspection order because I found 100 pieces in this corner, nobody knew, and I need somebody to inspect it. Okay, so that's why you see here manually. Let's stay on this screen for a minute. So I'm the manager. I come here. I know exactly what's going on. Oh, they're working on those. They're yellow. Oh, this one is completed. Let me see the results. I had 6 samples, okay, and 2 failed, and 4 of them passed, okay? And I see, oh, this came from a goods receipt, PO, from this vendor 3 days ago. So you know what? I'm gonna send this vendor a certificate and tell him that they sent me several bad products, and you can print this certificate straight from here if you want. Okay, very nice. I think it's a very nice format also. Okay, and then I did all my stuff. I'm the manager. I'm gonna go ahead and finalize this. So I don't need to have it on this screen anymore. Okay, oops, gives me an error for whatever reason. So then you see right here, this one is in progress. If I go here, you see that means there was 1 sample and the operator hasn't sent it back to me really. Let me go on this one. Maybe it's a better one. So here, this is a better one for you to see. This one is in progress. So there is somebody working on this quality control order, and they did 2 samples, but they still have 6 more to go. So as I mentioned earlier, the quality control manager has full visibility. What's going on with the inspection orders? Okay. This means release. The operator, the quality control operator cannot see it yet because I haven't released it. So when he logs on or she logs on, they cannot see this quality control order, and you can always, of course, release it right here. This one, I can finalize it. Even if it's not finished, you have the flexibility to finalize it also when they haven't finished the quality control order, because maybe you say, you know what, this one is not a good one, or it's failing anyway, and so on. Full visibility right here, okay? So let's go over here. Those were all my orders. And now the manager sets up the inspection plans. Those are all my different inspection plans. You name it what you would like to. And it does not matter what industry you're in, because maybe I'm in the food industry and I have to check my allergies, food inspection. Okay, so you can have many different inspection plans. So if I go to inspection plan 2 or 1, I see this is the name of the inspection plan. You guys know that. And I said my test 1, I have an approval target for 100%. And my first one is it's either yes or no. Okay? You can put your attribute in here. And what's really nice, and you will like that, is if I say no, it did not pass on a visual inspection, in this case, hey, if you say no, you need to put a reason in there why it didn't pass. That's wonderful for you, for reporting. Okay? And this is a maybe. Second test. What's my second test? 100% approval target again. You can always move it like this. And this is a measurement. I have to measure something. It's 2. Okay. Desired is 3, or you said desired is 2.5. Okay. And maximum is 3. That makes a little bit more sense. Okay. So this is my measurement. That's what I have to do. And then down here I have another test. So I just call it test 1, 2, and 3. So, but you, of course, will put in their names, what they have to do. And this one, I have to weight something, for example. And here are my measurement units. No, they do not come from your SAP Business One database. You set them up. I will show you. So the flexibility is huge because you can set up everything here, what your company needs. Okay? So I have 3 tests in this one. Of course, I could come in here and do another test, another attribute test, another variable test. You can keep going with it. Okay, so let me just remove this one and I'm going to save it what I changed. So those are my inspection plans. You set them up. Here I'm setting up my sampling plans. So what this is I'm sure many of you, there have a lot of people online, I love it. Many of you know what that means. So let's say receiving goods in. So when I receive in goods from a vendor, if it's, let's say, from 5, quantity 5 till whatever quantity, doesn't matter how far it goes up, I always have a fixed rule. The quality control department needs to check 5 samples. It's a fixed rule. Okay. But then the beauty is you can put in your own logic. I have a different rule. That's my standard rule. And I'm saying right here, if I receive in between 1 and 20, quantity between 1 and 20, I want the system inspect to create 10% samples. If I receive in between 21 and 40, 20%, and so on. You put in your logic because you don't want to do it manually. You want the system to do it exactly what you need. You know about Boeing. We are all about automations and logic, right? So you set it up and that's what the system will do. Okay? And here are my measurement units. Remember, I mentioned it earlier. You set up again what you need. Okay, so you can keep going and set up all those measurement units here, all the sampling plans here, inspection plans here. So you have everything set up and now you want to go a step further. You do not want to do manual inspection. Okay, you want to automate that. So I click here and what this does is I have different rules again with automations. You name it, whatever you would like. From goods receipt, those are my rules when I receive items into SAP, and those are rules after production. Okay, so let's look at one of them because we're going to do one of each. So goods receipt rules, let's do the first one. This is a batch rule. So I'm saying this is the name of the rule. I'm using inspection plan 2 for this rule. So now it's going to come together. Those are all my inspection plans we looked at. I'm using this sampling rule. Again, it comes together because my sampling rule is, if I get between 1 and 10, it's 10%, between 21 and up it's 20% and so on. And then I say, so this has to do with batch items, for example. Okay, so you build your condition. I only have one line for you, but you can always say and or, and then you can always say and maybe if item property is equal to batch and maybe the supply is equal to this and that, you build your logic. And I want to show you this one. And we're going to do a batch item. Okay, I'm going to receive batch item in and I'm going to say create one order per batch, meaning create one quality control order per batch. You can say create one order per document line, per serial number. All these options, what you need are here. And I'm also going to say, I want you to release this automatically because I don't want to click the release button as a manager. I want it to go straight to the floor, quality control floor, and I want them to see the quality control order and start working on it. Okay. And also when it passes, I want it to finalize it automatically. I don't need to see it. That's up to you, what you would like. And what's really, really nice. So imagine you're bringing in raw material, let's say items into stock as locked. Those are batch items and you lock them because somebody has to do a quality control on those items and then you release them. And you do this manually probably today. Here I can say release the batch if the inspection order passed. So let's try that. So you set up those rules and the system will look to your transactions in SAP Business One and does what it needs to do. So I'm going to go up here and let's look here and we said the first quality control order, the highest number is 225. I am going into SAP really quick and you guys can see it, perfect. And I'm going to do a goods receipt PO. And let's use that rule we just had, and I already did it. I'm gonna duplicate this, and I am going to take this vendor. So this is my vendor. You guys know all that, right? And those are two items, and I know those are batch items. Okay. So I said I wanted to create a quality control order per batch, right? So I'm receiving 20 on this one in here and 30 in this here. Okay, so I'm going to click add. And now I have to put in the batch. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say I have 10 for this because I want you to see how it actually creates a quality control order per batch. And I'm going to say I have 10 here. Perfect. Update. And I'm going to do it with the next one too. So I'm going to say B1, 11, 04, 21. Okay. And I'm going to do how many we have? 30. So let's do 15. Update. And then we're going to do the same batch. We call it 2. And we do the rest. So I have basically 4 batches. So it really should create 4 quality control orders because I said per batch, right? And I'm gonna say update. And it actually should lock those batches because I have my SAP Business One set that when I bring in material, it's gonna be locked. The batches are locked. Okay. I'm going to add this. So I'm in here. I don't even know. All I do is receive stuff in. And I don't even know there's maybe quality control order because quality control is taking care of it. Watch here. You're going to see them coming in now. That's why I clicked over really quick. Here they are. It created 4 quality control orders because per batch, you see 10, 10, 15, 15. So before we look at those, we're going to go back to SAP and I'm going to pull this up and let's look at the batch. We're going to go to batch number transaction report. So there are my batches and I'm just going to look at one and see it's locked. So we're going to take this batch, which is B1, the number 1. And what we are going to do is we are going to do the quality control on that. Okay. So I'm right here. I'm going to go look at this one. it's the other one. It's the first one. That's the 228. Okay, you see the batch right here. B1, today's date number 1, 15, and it did 2 samples. Watch this. Let me show you. This one has only 10. It has only 1 sample because it looks at my configuration. I think it's really cool. You don't have to worry about it. So, and you see that they have been released. So that means I am the quality control operator. I can see them already. Okay. So I'm going, and I see all this information here. I'm going in as the operator. I have my tablet. I'm an inspector. And here they are. Is it a little bit too big? I think it's okay. I'm on a big screen. I want to make sure you guys see it well. So I see all the released inspection orders right here, and here are the ones we just created because we released them all. I can always click here, then I know how many samples I have, but of course I would click straight on this one, and then I see as the quality control operator, I see this comes from a goods receipt PO. This is the batch number, this is the date, this is the supplier, and those are the samples I have to take. So I'm going to say yes. I'm going to just pretend I say no, and watch this. I have to put a defect in there. Isn't that cool? But I'm going to pass this quality control for this batch, because what we want to see is if it releases in SAP, because we're doing the quality control order. We want to make sure it releases. So I'm going to measure this. And that was my first sample. And I'm going to do my sample seg, and we're just going to say yes again. Oops. And we're going to do 1 kilo. And I'm going to say review my order. This is what the operator does. So they see a list of the quality control orders, and they just go and put in the information, the measurements, whatever they need to do. Then they see it right here, and they're going to say complete order. I have 3 tests, very simple, test 1, 2, 3, and all 3 passed. Okay. And this is my batch number. Okay. And I'm going to say complete order. If I go to the manager now, so 228 is gone. If I go to the manager, 228 is gone. And you know why? Because I said on my automation, on my configuration, I said I want it to finalize it automatically. Now let's look at our batch. I'm going to go back to SAP, and it was this one, I believe we did. It's released. See that? Okay. The other ones are still locked because I have not done my quality control order. So let's do this one right here, because we know it's locked. So I'm going to go back one more time. Okay, that's this one. Oops, this one. There we go. This is the batch right here. I'm going to go to the it's number inspection order 226. We're going to do it really quick, and we're going to release it. We're going to do the quality control order really quick. And I just could do this all day long because it works so well. Oops. Oh, I only did 1. All 3 passed. Complete order. 226. If you go here from the manager screen, it will be gone. It's gone because it passed, and I said close it out. Go back to SAP. I'm going to refresh it. I left it open. Watch this. It's going to change the lock to release. Beautiful. It works like a charm. So now let's do another example. So this was receiving items in. This was one example, but as you saw, you put in your logic and set it up the way you want it. Now let's do this. Now we're going to go after production. So I have this rule. I don't know why I call it this. Let's do rule 1. Sounds better, right? So this is rule 1. And I'm going to say if I receive this item or this item into receiving it in from for production, from production, I want it to create 1 order per document line. I think this is not a batch item. Okay. And release automatically. Those are my rules. They're a little bit different. So what's going to happen is if what's going to happen now, if I receive this in from production, it's going to create an inspection order, and it will tell me received from production. Let's do this one. Okay, so let's do this one. You run your MRP, you do your production orders in SAP, and then maybe you have produce. That's another cloud product of ours. I talked about this earlier. Okay, this is the manager. They have full visibility, who is working on what production order, what resource are they using, and so on. Right here are the production orders, and I think I have one in here. I gotta look at it. Where is my there we go. Let's use this one. This was one of the items, I'm pretty sure. So here is my production order. So I'm saying if I receive this in the finished good into production, I wanted to create a quality control order. This one has not been released yet, so I'm going to release it here. I don't even have to go into SAP. I'm a manager. I have produce manager. I'm a produce manager. I can release it from here. I also can check if I have actually the material to produce this item. That's what produce does. We are away from inspect, but I want you to see how well it works together. So I have the material in stock. I just checked it. Never have to go into SAP. I'm going to approve it. And now I want the operators to start working on it on this production order. Same thing like in inspect. I'm now on the production side really quick. And what I'm going to do, it was 313. Let me refresh it. Let me find this one really quick. And we're going to do this production order, because what we want to see is if it creates, I can see it. Hold on. There we go. Here it is. So I'm going to click on it. You know what you probably do now is you print out the production orders, run on the shop floor, and give it to the operators to make this product. No, you can use this. I see, okay, this is my resources, this is my items, and I'm going to start my production orders to put this auto kit together. And the time is running, okay? And like I said, if you have more questions to it, we can do a full session. But what I really want to do is I say stop. I said I made 20 of those in a very short time. Okay, I'm gonna say next. This is the time I needed. This was expected, and this is the material I need to issue. I say next, and I'm going to finish this one. Okay, so I'm gonna finish this production order, this routing step, and let's go to inspect manager. Okay, let's go to inspect manager, and you see how it's refreshing. There it is. It just created me a quality control order because I received this item from production, and it looked at my rules. How nice is that? And let's look at it. I did 20. That's 20. I said 10% if I have quantity of 20. Guess what? It is two samples. It does exactly what you have configured, and it's released already. So the inspection operator sees it already too, and they can start this inspection order for this auto kit. Okay, that's what I wanted you to see. So the inspect manager sets up the rules, sets everything up, and then you put in the automation and it does it. You saw it twice on the goods receipt. You saw it receiving in from production. I handle my production orders with produce. Okay, going back to those 3 products, I handle it here because I don't want to print it out paperwork and carry it around. I want to have full visibility what's going on the shop floor, and I want to have a terminal for SAP. I want it to click, want the time be running, and I also want to be able to enter instructions for the operator what to do for this route stage. Okay, but yeah, that was inspect, and I believe there we go.